What's going on, guys? 847 Boys here. Today's story is going to be on the topic of stealing. So, this story takes place in my freshman year of high school. It was the summertime, and at this point, it would just be the homies smoking weed at the house. And this particular person's house, we'll call him Kyle. There was a 7-Eleven right down the street, so we were just, at the time, we weren't able to smoke in the house and get away with it, so we would be going on little fake 7-Eleven runs, but we'd actually hit the 7-Eleven after we smoked. So anyway, we've been usually going to that particular 7-Eleven and paying for everything, but as you know, high school kids, all we do is spend our money on weed, and we were kind of getting sick of the prices of the shit there. So we ended up stealing from there a couple times. We've been getting away with it, just throwing our shit in the backpacks, buying like a little Arizona for $1, and then heading out. But this particular night, we head down there. Um, we look at what we want. I grab an Arizona and I throw a couple things in my bag for me and the homies. We go to check out, and typical 7-Eleven Indian clerk. Um, he barely speaks English, so he's trying to tell me to open my bag up. Somehow he knew because I was just behind the aisles throwing a couple of things in. Didn't think it was at all noticeable, but yeah, he had me put my bag down, so I threw the bag down there, and he eventually took everything out. And he's trying his best to tell us to, stay put. As bad as his English was, we still understood what to do. So he hops on the little old school style house phone to call the police, obviously, which we were not down for that. So I looked at my friends, they were both to the left of me, and I was kind of nodding at them to leave. And as soon as their fingers hit the door, I started grabbing this bag that was on the counter, which, keep in mind, this had my friend's PlayStation in as like a little decoy or whatever the fuck. So that's the only reason I'm trying to grab this bag. Otherwise, I would have just got the fuck up out of there. So I'm grabbing this bag, and somehow the store clerk whips it around real quick and grabs onto the bag. And this motherfucker was strong. Like, I was having trouble trying to grab it. And I'm going for this bag. I'm trying my best. And then eventually I just gave up and ran out the fucking door. And then after I got out, I met up with the homies, and they're running like they are fucking bolting. So I finally catch up with them. We are getting kind of close to the house, which was the destination, and we see a cop drive by, so we have to duck through a couple of houses, through some backyards. We finally made it to the back door of his house, into the basement where we were chilling at. And we get there and we're just talking about the whole situation. My friend is super pissed off about his PlayStation. He's not mad at me because, by all means, he was down, and he already had left before I at least tried to grab it. So about an hour goes by. We know that we're chilling now. One of my friends was really tweaking about getting caught somehow, even though we were in the comfort of his house. And the other friend was still worried about his PlayStation. And I don't exactly remember who in the right mind had this idea, but the next goal was to somehow make up a plan to go back and get his PlayStation back. Then we finally made up our minds to start heading over there. We got a little fucking master plan going on. Since I was the most face there because I had backpack, I was the most known face. I walked around the building with my friend Chris while Kyle walked in from the entrance. We were waiting on the other side of the door. Kyle walks in and he tries talking to the guy. He's like, "I'm sorry that my friends did that. I wasn't a part of it." And he's trying to explain to him that that was his PlayStation. So he's asking for it, and then the clerk is trying to make him stay there, trying to speak best English he can, which obviously was a struggle. And I couldn't see inside the store at this point. All I could see was Kyle sitting there, and the guy was on the phone. He hopped on the phone, and then Kyle starts walking out, and then we see the guy go around the counter, start running. Kyle gives me the little signal to start running with him, and we both just bolted again up the same hill all the way back to the house. And we took the same route we did there behind the backyards, but once we got there safely, we realized, it was time to give up. and that was the end of our night pretty much. I went home in the morning thinking everything was okay. I mean, which it was, besides the fact that the PlayStation was gone. To this day, I've never gone in that 7-Eleven, and I've always been worried that I would be with my parents and be forced to go in somehow with them, which it's never happened yet. I actually felt bad, and I gave my friend my old Xbox in return for the PlayStation because I did feel like it was my fault. He wasn't really tripping about it that much, but I mean, he was obviously mad. So yeah, that's how it went. In a way, you could say, we got away with it, but I see it as a fucking loss for my friend and myself. I mean, it was my backpack, to be fair. And basically, a moral I can pull out of this story is just don't steal. Don't steal from any types of stores or anything like that. It's really not worth it in the end. I mean, if you can pay for it, by all means, pay for it. But if you can't and you know you can't, just don't try it. It's not worth it. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this story. Thank you guys for watching and enjoy the next one.